What's going on, guys? Jacoborth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys with another interview here during this election season. Going to interview more candidates like I told you guys have been doing. Today I am joined by Miss Catherine Byrne, who is running for state controller. So she's another one who's going to be, in the realm of finance and handling lots of taxpayer money. So, Catherine, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, you are no stranger to being, in politics, particularly here in Nevada, right?
Well, I've been engaged because I've been working at the executive branch area since 2012. So you can't help, and in Carson City, so you can't help but being immersed in it.
Right. So she actually came down to Las Vegas. She's going to be here. I caught her in this interview. She's normally up north, so she's up there doing a lot of work in the political realm. Being in finance, obviously, is right up your alley because you are a certified public accountant, correct?
I am a CPA, and I have over a decade of experience in governments and fiscal accounting of governments. So makes me qualified to work as controller.
Okay, so you've worked with large numbers now for a long time.
Yes.
No stranger to politics here in Nevada. You have a kind of interesting scenario here in your race because you are running against your current boss.
Yes, I'm running against our current controller, Ron Connect.
Yeah. So far, that could wind up being an interesting scenario as things play out in the future.
It has been.
So let's say, so you're, a lot of people are probably familiar when it comes to finance with the treasurer and what the treasurer does, but you as a controller, what is the controller's job in regards to handling money for the state?
Well, what the controller does is we manage the accounting system for the state. We also do some debt collection and vendor services desk, but the most important thing we do for the state is we prepare the annual financial statement. And that financial statement is prepared in accordance with our accounting standards. So we're not influenced by other bodies that set legislature because we're just reporting the numbers as they are. We manage the accounting system, so that is how we direct, we architect the general ledger and the chart of accounts so that people, when they record their transactions from agencies, that they're recording them in the proper place, in the proper little buckets of revenue and buckets of expenses, that they all are reported properly, and that's based on our accounting standards. So we want to make sure that that's done accurately for the state. Okay, yeah, so the strong accounting background is a big help. Yes, it is.
In doing this. So how do you work with the state treasurer?
We work in tandem together. The state treasurer is the chief investment officer of the state, and the controller is the chief financial officer of the state. Now, the Treasury, they're basically more concerned with the investments of the state in the different investment pools, and they also, manage the cash balance, so that maximizes our interest income and minimizes fees. So they're concerned with the investment of the money and where we stand and how much we make on it, and then the different funds like college savings plan. There's a millennial scholarship plan. We have some other ones. Nevada's Capital Improvement Corporation.
Okay.
So there's a few things that are managed, and they're basically investment funds that are by the treasurer. The controller is more concerned with dealing with when the money's already spent, and how it is going to be properly accounted for.
Okay. Does the controller have very much influence on where the money gets spent or how much gets spent in certain places?
Yeah, typically a controller will not set policy, and it is the legislature that really is the authority that directs the money where it should go in the state. The governor recommends a budget to the legislature, but ultimately it's the legislature that makes the policy decisions. It's not to say that the government doesn't have a huge control over it. He does, or she does, basically it's from the two bodies that are separate from me, and then I gain some independence, which is good if we want to have some integrity in our financial information. We want somebody who's reporting that, or like the gatekeeper of that money, to not have the influence.
Okay, so let's say, you've already been in politics now for some time. Obviously you've worked in a lot of work in finance, but what made you decide to go the public sector and want to try to get elected and try to serve the state instead of just maybe staying in the private sector or doing something along those lines?
I worked many years in the private sector, and but once I started working in government and doing public service, that's what it is. It's public service. It's working towards the common good, and I find it far more gratifying to work for the common good than a big corporation or some helping somebody's bottom line.
Okay.
So that's the main reason I do that. And I'm an accountant, and I am who I am, you know. So I just try to do the best to my abilities and serve the government or my boss. That it could be a politician, to serve a politician as well as I can. Without, you know, I still have accounting standards, and it typically ends up being a very respectful relationship because it's like someone's keeping him in check about, you know.
Right, it maintains a check and balance.
Yes, and again, it increases the integrity of that politician.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know, let's say you end up becoming controller. You're in the state of Nevada. You know, what are some things, if you just off your own personal opinion, you know, here in Nevada, maybe some places you would like to see more money be spent, maybe some places you think Nevada's overspending right now, you'd like to see maybe pulled back a little bit, you'd like to see money reallocated somewhere else. Any, you know, thoughts on
some movement of money based on policy? Well, there's always been an issue with funding education, so that's an issue for the legislature, but some of the things that go on in the rural areas of Nevada really could use some help. And the one thing I think about is Wi-Fi service for across the state. And I think that's an issue that everybody can grasp onto. So that's what I would like. That's one of the things I'd like to see money kind of shifted more towards getting the rurals that type of service, so that because right now they're not on they're not on the same playing field as Clark County and Washoe County. So that's one of the things I'd like to see done. You know, just changing the allocation of the money. Well, you know, one of the things I always look for is government efficiencies by either combining or separating agencies. You know, either breaking it down because it's too complex, so it gets too bulky to deal with, or you know, is it we have separate areas that are very similar in scope, and maybe they can be combined. That's one of the best benefits I can offer the state, and that is based also on my experience to know, you know, there's certain things that work well with other things, and it really should be considered before we just start moving things around.
Right.
Yeah.
So some more infrastructure in the rural parts of Nevada, and also ways to make government easier to manage.
Yes, and then that makes it more efficient. And,
okay.
You know, that's what Nevada wants too. They want lean government that is just efficient. So, and I think they have that right, and that's definitely something I work with. So.
Okay. Well, is there anything else, you know, so far you'd like to add about your campaign, this election, your past history, anything that you would like to throw in? I will put, you know, contact links down below for you, but if you'd like to say anything else about the campaign, this is your chance.
Sure. I want to share something personal with you. I am a Blue Star mom. My only child is a staff sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, and he's stationed in Washington, D.C. And it looks like he's going to make it his career choice, so I'm very proud of him. And that also is another reason why I'm standing up, you know, for the plate, is that, you know, for my child, and you know, so democracy, you know.
So your son going into service kind of maybe help edge you into a little bit to public service yourself.
Yes, yeah. I'm concerned about that. We have good leadership, and you know, I've always wanted to be a good role model for him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, if people want to find out more about you, if they want to try to reach out to you some way, connect with you on social media, so I'll put the links down below.
Okay.
Where can people find you? On your website or some other places?
They can find me on my website, and they can also contact me through Facebook. I'm Catherine Byrne for State Controller. And it's also attached to my personal page, so that's a good way. And also on my website, there is a link for to message us or give us your contact information.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I think that'll about wrap it up, guys. I mean, Catherine Byrne did a great job here. Like, she's been on camera a time or two before for interviews, so much appreciated. I appreciate you making the trip to Southern Nevada to be down here and do the interview. So if you guys want like more information about her, remember her links are all down below. If you guys want to get more background on her, you guys want to be more well informed when it comes time to cast your vote, you know, this fall, please do so. I encourage all of you to go out and vote. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.
Thank you.